kick it, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett.
The yo bitch wanna kick it, Jackie Chan.
Well, hey there, Mr. Juice. It's your good old friend, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones? Why are you calling me?
I would like to offer you the chance of a lifetime. How would you like to be the majority owner of the Dallas Cowboys?
You want me to be the majority owner of the Dallas Cowboys? That's insane.
I thought you might say that. One condition, though. You gotta fire that man, Mike McCarthy.
You want me to fire Mike McCarthy? He's doing a fine job. The Cowboys are playing really well.
He is way too fat to be a head coach. He's out of shape. He's putting a bad example on those players.
I guess you're right on that.
All right, now.
Wait.
Deal's done. I gotta go back to keeping black kids out of high school. I'll see you later now.
Well, I guess I own the Dallas Cowboys now? And he wants me to fire Mike McCarthy and hire somebody new? Who am I going to hire? The season's almost here. I have the perfect man for the job. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to a new beginning. That is right. It's been a while since we started something fresh here on the channel. It's been a lot of just the same stuff over and over again with the Barons and the Cougars and MLB The Show and the Throwback Thursday stuff and the Juice Road to Glory. So we've got our mainstays on the channel. And then obviously I throw in like Madden experiments and fun little one-off videos every once in a while to kind of shake things up, shake up the content on the channel, make sure things aren't so stale. But there hasn't really been like a crazy kind of series that I've done on Madden in about a year now, because last year we were doing the Legends Fantasy Draft series, and that one kind of tailed off towards the end. But I think this series has some good possibilities. So let me break it down what's going on. Oh, by the way, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. This video should be going up on the 26th, I think, of December. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas yesterday with your families and got all the presents that you wanted and had a wonderful time. So hope you guys had a great time with your families and a great Christmas. But getting back to business, to break down this series. So this is going to be called, you already know by the title and the thumbnail, that this is the Madden 23 Dallas Cowboys all-decade rebuild. Now what I mean by that is, I have a roster that I downloaded, plus I adjusted myself, added a few other players that I felt should have been included in the roster that weren't, and I adjusted the ratings of all the players myself to make it better feel like more real life, plus I adjusted the ratings of some of the created guys from the 2010 era that I felt were too low or not accurate enough. So I did all that. So it's basically, I just took like the template of the roster and I basically redid it myself. Like I redid the entire roster. I redid every team's ratings for players. I created more players. I did all this kind of stuff. So it's basically my roster at this point. But it is a 2010 decade team or decade roster. So basically what that means is each team is put up with all of their, or most of their important players from the 2010 decade. So this doesn't include guys that are from the 2000s, although it can, like Peyton Manning obviously is included in this because he had a run in the 2010s that won him a Super Bowl with the Broncos. So he's included in this. But guys along those lines, the guys that extended past the 2000s era into the 2010s era and still had a big impact. But this is going to include guys from the 2010s era of each team's best players all like put together on this one roster. And we're going to do a fantasy draft, and we are going to try and win as many Super Bowls as possible with the Dallas Cowboys with whatever roster we end up drafting in this video. This is just going to be the draft and going over the entirety of the, like, who's in the league. So, for example, RG3 is on the Washington Commanders. Andrew Luck is with the Colts. Rob Gronkowski's on the Patriots. Brady's back on the Patriots. You guys get the idea. Jalen Ramsey's back with the Jaguars. Like, you get the idea of where this roster is going. And if you want to know more about the roster, if you have a PS5, I will re-upload my version of this 2010 decade roster. So if you want to go download it and check it out and play for yourself, it will be on the roster community shares after this video goes live. Or it should already be up as this video is live. So if you have a PS5 and you have Madden 23, you can go and download this 2010 decade roster and have a more in-depth look for yourself. So that's a little thing that I thought I'd add. But yeah, this is going to be a 2010 decade. I don't know how long this series is going to go. I want to go at least a couple seasons because I want obviously it's called a rebuild, so I want to rebuild into a championship team and win a couple Super Bowls. But I hope this goes well. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm really excited to get into this roster because I've only like edited it. I haven't actually gotten onto and actually played with these guys. So I have no idea what's going to happen here. I have no idea who's going to go number one. I have no idea where everybody's going to go. Like, everything is up in the air. I have no idea what's going to happen in this draft. And I know this could be thought of as a little too similar to the Legends Fantasy Draft series, but there are no actual quote-unquote legends in this roster, unless you consider like Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, all those guys. If you consider those types of guys legends because they were in the 2010 decade, then those guys are in this roster. But there's no like Walter Payton or there's no Joe Montana, nobody like that. This isn't that kind of Legends team or this kind of Legends series. This is going to be, and it's got a new name, it's got everything. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and you'll learn more about it as we go on with this episode and with the episodes following. So hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the video and draft our team to start this rebuild. All right, so as you know, we are the Dallas Cowboys, and we are starting here with the fantasy draft. I have no idea what pick we're going to be. We're going to find out together. Let's do it. Let's click the start your fantasy draft, start drafting. We have pick 27, which is not good. I was hoping for a top 10 pick. Quarterbacks, there's still a ton of, or not a ton, there's still some decent quarterbacks available. Running backs, you can kind of see some of the running backs that made the roster. Wide receivers, there's still some very good wide receivers, including Megatron still available. I feel like we have to go Megatron, right? I feel like we have to. Gronkowski's still here. George Kittle is available. The best player available is Christian McCaffrey. I forgot to pause. Whoops, let me go and quickly pause the draft. There we go. But that means that since we have such a low pick in the first round, we have a high pick in the second round. So that's kind of the even out kind of thing. All right, so let's see. What do we want to start with? Do we want to get our franchise quarterback? Oh, by the way, I will go after we get through the roster, through the draft, off camera. I will go through and lower the ages of some of the older guys like Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, so that they don't retire after the first season. Because we know Tom Brady, not all the time, it's not guaranteed, but most of the time in franchise after season 1, Tom Brady retires. So I will go and lower the age so that hopefully it doesn't happen in this series. And I'll do that for some of the older guys. But there are some really good quarterbacks left. And as you guys know, in my series, I don't usually have that great of a quarterback. Right now we have Jalen Hurts in the Barons, so I don't want to get Jalen Hurts in this series. I don't really know where to go. I don't really know where to go with this. We could obviously get Aaron Donald or J.J. Watt. That would be really good because you know I'm a D-line user, so having an elite level pass rusher on the D-line would be pretty ideal. But there's also some pretty good options down the board when we have guys available at the top of the board that probably won't be available at pick 26. Or pick 6 in the second round. When do we think guys like Antonio Brown and Calvin Johnson would get off the board? That's a big question. When do we think guys like that would go off the board? I don't know. I really don't know. And don't worry about like X factors and all that stuff. I'll put those on as well while I'm doing the ages. I will do X factor abilities for guys that need it, because I don't think Drew Brees has X factor at all. I'll give all those guys X factors, so you don't have to worry about that. And the other question is, do we get a guy that's more mobile, like a Cam Newton or an Andrew Luck? He's probably more mobile. Or do we get a pocket passer like Matt Ryan or Drew Brees or Peyton Manning or guys like that? That's another big question. Do I value running the football more than I value being accurate? It all depends on who we take at wide receiver, because if I'm going to have a lot of elite wide receivers, then I'm going to want to have a good quarterback to get the ball to those guys, obviously. So I'd lean probably towards a Tom Brady type or a Ben Roethlisberger, somebody like that, a Peyton Manning. So there's a bunch of different things to figure out. Obviously, there's amazing offensive linemen left on the board, some really good defensive linemen, some good tackles are still available. Linebackers obviously still good. Guys are amazing in here. Then you got right outside linebackers. I wish we could go and see who got taken already, so that I could kind of like see how the draft is kind of leaning. But unfortunately, we can't do that. So I don't know. I'm stalling too much right now. I don't really know where to go. I don't think we go running back. There's plenty of running backs that are available that are going to be just as good as the top guys. So I don't think we go running back. We either go quarterback, receiver, or defense, which probably would mean either Aaron Donald, Drew Brees, or Calvin Johnson, or Antonio Brown. Either one of those guys. What is Calvin Johnson's rating? Where's Michael Thomas at? Michael Thomas keeps showing up on the list. He's 11th in the wide receivers. Why does he keep showing up on the all positions board? I don't know why he keeps showing up there. Calvin Johnson should be here. I don't know. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Who is going to be our number one pick? I feel like it has to be Aaron Donald. I think I'm gonna go Aaron Donald. It has to be, and he's not gonna be 31 when the week 1 starts next episode. But I think we have to take Aaron Donald with the pick. He's ranked 61 in true value. I find that hard to believe, but whatever. Aaron Donald is our first pick 6 now in the second round. Quarterbacks, Brady got taken. The running backs are still available. There's Calvin and Antonio Brown. So the receivers are still on the board. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So we got my D-line user, most likely. Do we go for like a Derrick Henry type? I feel like Derrick Henry would be really cool to get. Or an Adrian Peterson. But Chris Johnson's also got 98 speed, 98 acceleration. So there's guys like that are going to be really fun to use. And then we could get a guy like Nick Chubb as well. Like, there's a lot of bruisers. But I feel like Derrick Henry could be really fun. Although, there was a lot of rumors back in the day that Adrian Peterson was going to go to the Cowboys. He never eventually did. I don't think he ever played for the Cowboys. But there was a lot of rumors that he was going to go there. Do we take like a Le'Veon Bell, Alvin Kamara type? I think I'm going to bank on the fact that running back will be there. Although, probably not, because we have to go all of the second round and then most of the third round just to get back to our next pick. So if I'm going to take somebody, it's got to be now. And do I think that there's going to be a quarterback available? I do. I think our quarterback could be Andrew Luck. I think that might be where I'm leaning. So we got to focus on a receiver. We got to get a number 1. And I think our number 1 is going to be Calvin Johnson or DeAndre Hopkins. I always get Calvin, though. I feel like I always get Calvin in everything I do. But it's because he's so good. He's a Hall of Famer. He's amazing. But all these guys are Hall of Famers, really. And Antonio Brown. Oh, Calvin. Can't pass up on Calvin. Oh, wow. It says we reached on him. I don't believe that. But we take Calvin Johnson in round 2. Tony Romo got taken off the board. That's not a good sign for my quarterback situation. Andrew Luck got taken. Okay. Ooh, we could get Robert Griffin III. That could be fun. So Derrick Henry got moved or got drafted. The wide receivers. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have used the wide receiver one. Maybe I should have waited on that one. Gronkowski's still here. I feel like I missed an opportunity there. I feel like I shouldn't have gotten Calvin Johnson. But if I bank it, RG3 is probably going to be there. Although I said that with Andrew Luck and he wasn't there. I think we need to get Darrelle Revis to get a corner, a number 1 corner. And then we'll roll it to pick 6 in the second round or in the 4th round. Palmer got taken. Trent Williams is still available. RG3 got taken too? Come on, man. I got to start when I see somebody, I got to take him. We got to get a quarterback. I don't want it to be Cam Newton, really. I guess it could be Cam Newton. I guess it has to be Cam Newton, right? If I'm going to get a good quarterback that can throw and run around a little bit, let's take Cam. I don't like that pick, but it's the only one we had available to us with the situation we were in. We needed to get a quarterback. Okay, so we don't have to focus on quarterback anymore, at least not for right now. There's a lot of good weapons available, but one that I'm seeing right now is Patrick Willis, and I think Patrick Willis is going to be the move. So Patrick Willis gets taken. He's our new number 1 middle linebacker. Antonio Brown is still available. So is Troy Polamalu and Cam Chancellor. There's a lot of weapons available. If we could get Sherman and Darrelle Revis, we'd have a lockdown. We'd have an absolute lockdown at corner. But also Rob Gronkowski's still here. And when does Rob Gronkowski go off the board? I think we're going to take Rob Gronkowski. I'm going to take Gronk. Oh, I'm really making some weird decisions, aren't I? Pick 27 in the 1st round. There's Kuechly. Polamalu's still here and Cam Chancellor's here. We got to get a corner. Or we got to get a safety. And I think Polamalu didn't go to Notre Dame. I have to change that. I didn't realize that the guy... And Cam Chancellor didn't go to Nebraska. All right, I guess I didn't realize some of these colleges were wrong. I'll change them. Don't worry. We already have a middle linebacker, so we don't need Luke Kuechly. But I want to get one of you two. Probably Polamalu. Let's take Polamalu. Finally got a good pick for once. It's about time. DeMarcus Lawrence got taken. Of course, all the guys that I want to take get taken right when I'm about to do it. Wide receiver. We need a wide receiver too. We have Calvin Johnson, who's a big body guy. Now we need a big time, like, possession guy. We need that number 2. Who's going to be that number 2? It could be Steve Smith, but I feel like that's still too early to take Steve Smith. We also need a protector for Cam Newton, but I feel like there's still some really good left tackles on the board. Still some good centers on the board. Left ends are starting to go off a little bit. D tackles are still decent. Outside linebackers, not a lot of good corners available. Patrick Peterson. Let's take... No, would Patrick Peterson go? It's pick 6 in the 8th round. Would Patrick Peterson go? I don't know. That's too hard to pick. Do we have a running back? Did I get a running back? I didn't draft a running back yet. Let's take... I feel like I'll take Le'Veon Bell if I need to. I don't want to take Peterson. And it's still too early to take a guy like... what's his face? Steve Smith. I don't think he'll go. We don't need a middle linebacker, not right now. Left outside linebacker, we could use Terrell Suggs, would be awesome. I think I'm going to get Terrell Suggs. I think that's going to be really, really good. Let's take Terrell Suggs. We take Suggs. T-Sizzle. He's on the board. Him and Patrick Willis going to lock down that defense right there. Jamal Charles is available. Le'Veon Bell is available. Let's take Le'Veon. I'm talking about it. Let's take him. I can't keep screwing up and missing out on draft picks. So let's take Le'Veon Bell. We're into the 10th round now. Cam Chancellor's still available, but we have Polamalu, right? Yeah, Palomalu's available or is drafted already. So we need a free safety. So we should probably take a guy like Earl Thomas to be our free safety, big hitter in Earl Thomas there. Now we go into the 11th round. We need to get not a running back. We need another wide receiver. Of course, I missed out on my guy, Steve Smith, but Julian Edelman is still available, so we'll take Julian because I do enjoy Julian Edelman, big-time Patriot. Frank Gore just got drafted. Julio Jones is still available. I feel like he's just in my face. Like, how can I not take Julio Jones? So let's take Julio. Now we go, Patrick Peterson's still available. We got to get a good corner to go alongside Darrelle Revis. So now our corners are locked up. We should probably start focusing on offensive line a little bit. I feel like I've kind of neglected the offensive line a slight bit, but there's still some really good offensive linemen available. Jason Peters is a 95, so we might as well take him. And he won't be 40 years old when he plays for us. Okay, we got a left tackle. I feel like the other ones can wait a little bit. We'll take Nick Mangold at center, so we can have a really solid center. Jamal Charles is still available. Who are my running backs? I've got just Le'Veon Bell, and he's my elusive back. Le'Veon is my elusive back. Okay. Jordy Nelson, Brent Grimes. Let's go on to the defensive line and see if there's a guy here that we want to take. Justin Tuck could be cool. Robert Quinn, Mario Williams. Let's take Robert Quinn to be alongside Aaron Donald. Jameson Williams just got drafted. There are the rookies and young guys are in this too, so don't forget about those guys. To be the left end. We don't have a left end, right? Yeah, we don't have a left end. Dietrich Wise would be interesting. Also, Carlos Dunlap would be cool. Let's get Dietrich Wise. He doesn't get a lot of love. He's having a decent season in real life. Let's have him on the team. So now the defensive line, at least the number ones are kind of locked up. Running backs, there's still some really good running backs available. Marshawn, do I feel like Marshawn would be available a little bit later? Probably. Another wide receiver. We have Julio, Julian, and Calvin. So we don't really need to focus on offense line right now. Left guard, we do need to get a left guard. And I think Roger Saffold will be that guy for us. We might as well just finish up the offense line. We'll get a right tackle and we'll get a right guard. Yeah, I think we need, what do we need? We have a left tackle, we have a left guard, we have a center. We need the right side of the line. So we need a right guard and a right tackle. The right tackle is Brian Bulaga, Orlando Franklin. We might as well get Brian Bulaga since he's the highest overall available. There we go. And then we'll get a right guard, and we'll finish up the offensive line. I know I'm missing out on a lot of probably really good players. We got to get this offensive line figured out. Kyle Long, Kevin Zeitler. We'll just get Kyle Long so that he can fill out that offensive line. There, offensive line's finished. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We need to get another linebacker. We need to get... Has kickers gone off the board? Kickers are still available. We need to get a third corner probably. We need to get a third corner, which is either going to be Joe Hayden or it's going to be, Tariq Woolen too, and Marcus Jones. Okay, there's still some really good corners available, but I think to get a third corner, it's going to be Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden will be our third corner, so that's three really solid corners. Colin Kaepernick just went off the board. Now we need to get another linebacker, probably a right outside linebacker. Connor Barwin's the only one that's really that great available. What about young guys? Are there still some young guys down the board? Not really. Okay, that's not promising. Ray Lewis is still available. That's weird. Probably because he's a little bit older. Trent Cole's still available. All right, let's get Ray Lewis. Just to have on the team. Who knows what he'll play. Okay, so we need to go around and see what we have. We probably need to get another quarterback, need to get another running back, need to draft another wide receiver. We need to get another tight end because, you know, I like to run 2 tight end sets, 3 tight end sets. There's still some really good tight ends available like Antonio Gates, Zach Ertz. Those guys are still available. Aaron Hernandez is available as well. On the defensive side of things, a lot of the really good guys are getting taken. Mario Williams is available. Everson Griffin, Ndamukong Suh, Sheldon Richardson. Let's get Ndamukong Suh to back up Aaron Donald. And then quarterback position, there's still some good quarterbacks on the board. Let's get let's get Flacco. Let's get Flacco to back up Cam Newton. Who knows? Maybe Flacco comes in and is the starter. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He won a freaking Super Bowl. Why not? All right, it looks like Antonio Gates is on the rise to get drafted, so we'll get a backup tight end in Antonio Gates. Him and Gronk will be a nice 1-2 punch right there. Then we can go to the running backs. Adrian Peterson's still on the board, probably because he's a little bit older. So we might as well draft him. We have our elusive back. Then Peterson can be our power back. Peterson can be our power back. All right. And if we go to wide receivers, Deshaun Jackson would be awesome to get. You know what? I'm not even gonna mess around. Deshaun Jackson's gonna be our pickup here. All right. So we're moving around here. We're looking pretty good. Mike Daniels is available. So right now we have 2 quarterbacks. We have 2 running backs. We've got 4 receivers, 2 tight ends, a full offensive line, some defensive linemen. We don't have a right outside linebacker, but that's because I don't really like the right outside linebackers that are available. And there's not really a ton of super young guys. I feel like the super young guys got taken already. So what about kicker? Justin Tucker got taken, but Adam Vinatieri is available, so we'll draft Adam Vinatieri so we have a lockdown kicker. Don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about that. Gerald McCoy and Mike Daniels, Star Latuli, Malik Jackson, all those guys are available. Let's take Mike Daniels with this draft pick. All right, we are entering pick 30 now, or round 30, not pick 30, round 30. Amendola is available. We kind of have everything that we need except for right outside linebacker. But maybe we just move a left outside linebacker to right outside. That could be possible, like Bruce Irvin. That could be something we do. Let's just take Bruce Irvin, and then maybe we move some guys over, we switch positions, something like that. Because we can also move Aaron Donald to end, and then have an end move up to outside linebacker. That's also something we could do. Mario Addison, although there's not a whole lot of great rush guys left, pass rushers left. There's still some good D tackles left, but we already have 3 of them. And we have Robert Quinn and Dietrich Wise. Middle linebackers, not a whole lot left. Corners, I forgot about the corners, so we lost out on those guys. That sucks. I forgot about them. Maybe we try and trade for them in the series at some point. But I forgot about them. That sucks. But we have 3 really good ones. And maybe we get like Jimmy Smith to be number 4. I could see that. I could see that working out for us. And then how many wide receivers do we have? We have 4 wide receivers. Another running back. We need a receiving back just to fill out the 3. And it doesn't look like the top receiving backs are that great. There isn't even a receiving back up at the top. It doesn't look like. So what we'll do is we'll take probably another elusive back and make him a receiving back. Or we don't have to take a running back yet. That's also a possibility. Tight ends. Free safeties. Malik Hooker. Let's just take Hooker to be the backup free safety. Then we'll take a backup strong safety. And we're coming up on the end of this draft. We don't really need to draft the backups. At least not all the backups. Rodney McLeod, Gibson, Sendejo, Carl Joseph, Eric Rowe. I don't really like any of these guys too much. I like Rodney McLeod. He's the best available. He's fine. He'll do a job. He will do a job as a backup. He doesn't have to play too much. And now we get into the weird stuff. So third string quarterback. Is there a decent third string quarterback, or are all these guys just garbage? It looks like all these guys are just garbage. So if we're going to take a good third string quarterback, it's going to have to be probably Michael Vick. Will he ever play for us? Probably not. But he is the third string quarterback. There are still some good wide receivers left to give us a fifth wide receiver. Cole Beasley, John Brown. What do we need? What kind of archetype do we need? We have two slot guys, even though Julio Jones isn't really a slot guy. He's more of a physical type. We have our playmaker. We have our slot route runner. We have our two physical guys. I don't know. I don't know really what we need. We maybe need a deep threat like Emmanuel Sanders. That could be something, because Cam's got a pretty decent arm on him. So maybe we use a deep threat. I don't think there's anybody here that I want to take. I'm not seeing anybody. There's Josh Cribbs. I'm not seeing anybody that intrigues me other than Emmanuel Sanders. So let's just take Emmanuel Sanders. He can be our deep threat. That's 5 wide receivers. That's pretty good. I'd like to get another tight end and a couple more corners, and then we can probably just end this and simulate. But who's the tight end that I want? Who is the third tight end that I want? Is it going to be Blake Jarwin, the Cowboy? Mercedes Lewis, Jordan Akins, Max Williams? Let's just get Blake Jarwin. I mean, he's a Cowboy in real life, or at least he was at one point. Let's just take him. He can be the third tight end. Who knows if I'm ever going to throw him the football, but he's on the list. Okay, let's go back to corner, because we do need... Actually, we don't really need that many corners. We probably need one more. And Bobby McCain, Prince Amukamara, they're all still here. Eli Apple, he always gets cooked, though. Trey Flowers... I don't know. I'm kind of upset that I didn't get Tariq Woolen. I really wanted Tariq Woolen. What kind of position do we have? We have man-to-man. We have 2 man-to-man and 2 slot guys. So we probably need a zone corner, which is Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain will work. He may not be the best, but he'll work. He will work. So we have 5 corners now, right? We have a lot of different positions. We have a really good team. Do we need another running back? We probably do. And CJ Spiller's still here. Let's just take CJ Spiller. He's really fast. Let's just take CJ. That could be fun. That could be really fun to see. So now we have 3 running backs. We have all our wide receivers. We have our quarterbacks. Is there any fullbacks available? All the good fullbacks are still available. Let's just take Marcel Reese. Yeah, he ends up having star development. Good for him. Okay, so we have our fullback. I think that's going to be it. I don't think there's anybody else that we need to draft, or at least that I need to absolutely have on the team out of what's left. I don't think there's anybody left, and I think we have everybody in positions that we have. We have 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, a fullback. We have 5 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Our offensive line can auto draft backups. If anything, we could get a couple backup pass rushers, but like I said, there wasn't really that many good ones available. There wasn't that many good ones available when I was looking. Vinny Curry, Henry Anderson. There's not a whole lot here. Lawrence Guy is about the best one on this side. Let's take Lawrence Guy. I guess he could be another big D tackle if we need a D tackle. I don't know why we would. But he's there. And then I'll get maybe another end or tackle. It's either going to be Vinny Curry or it's going to be nobody. Because there's not another D tackle that I like. So let's just take nobody. Let's just auto draft the rest. There's nobody else here that I want. And we will finish out the draft. Skip ahead in the draft to the end. It can auto draft the rest. I don't care. But I will see you guys at the recap. Okay, so we are here in the preseason. This is what our team looks like. we have, and remember, this isn't going to be, they're not going to have all normal development next time you see this roster. But we drafted Cam Newton, Adrian Peterson, Le'Veon Bell, and CJ Spiller, Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Julian Edelman, Deshaun Jackson, Emmanuel Sanders. It looks like they also drafted Westbrook Akine. That's cool. We got Gronk, Antonio Gates, and Blake Jarwin. Our offensive line looks really good. We have horrible backups, but that's okay. But our offensive line looks really, really good. Defensively, we've got solid defensive ends, which I might... Ooh. Maybe not. What scheme should we run? We should probably... Oh, and by the way, the head coach is going to change. I haven't done it yet, but you should have seen it in the beginning. I don't know if I put that in there yet. But the coach will be different next time you see it. But I think, what's the scheme that fits the best? Spread offense. I like the spread offense. I really do. Vertical zone. Let's run the spread on offense. Ooh, there's a 96 for base 3-4. I think we fit best on a 3-4. Yeah, let's run a 3-4. All right. So that's what we're going to run on defense. I think I think this fits a lot better because now we have Willis and Lewis. Willis and Lewis, that's a name right there. That's a thing, combination. Yeah, I like this a lot better. The 3-4 works a lot better. Okay. Perfect special teams. We don't have a punter, but we have a kicker, Adam Vinatieri. Our kick return man is going to be... Who's going to be our kick return man? Special teams. Deshaun Jackson, they have him as the kick return man. I don't mind that. Kick return, Deshaun Jackson, legendary kick returning. I'm fine with all this. I'm fine with the power back being Adrian Peterson, obviously. Third round running back can be Peterson, I guess. Or maybe let's make it Le'Veon Bell. And then the slot receiver probably should be Julian Edelman. Or maybe it should be Julio. Let's keep it Julio for now. We can switch it if we need to. But that's the roster, or that's the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess we could go around. Hold on, before I forget, let's just sign a punter. And Thomas Morstead's here, so that's perfect. He will work just fine. I don't punt on the channel, but might as well have a punter just because. So we sign Thomas Morstead on the team. And we can take a look around the league at some of the top players getting drafted where they went. Devontae Adams goes to the Dolphins. They also have Jalen Hurts. The Eagles get Myles Garrett, Steve Smith. Seems like a pretty decent team. The Falcons got Antonio Brown, Von Miller, Ben Roethlisberger, and Matt Ryan. Very questionable, but whatever. Larry Fitzgerald and Bobby Wagner are on the 49ers. So is Nick Bosa still. Travis Kelce's a Giant with Michael Thomas. Cam Chancellor is on the Jaguars. Andrew Whitworth, Lane Johnson. It seems like Andrew Whitworth's already hurt. Lamar Jackson's the quarterback of the Jags. George Kittle's on the Jets. Carson Palmer's the quarterback there. Marvin Harrison Sr. and Stephon Gilmore are on the Lions. Russell Wilson is in Green Bay. Let Russ cook in Green Bay with Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill's in Carolina. Zach Martin, Devin McCourty, interesting. Jason Kelsey, Justin Jefferson is in the Patriots. I love that. LeGarrette Blount back in New England. Love to see it. J.J. Watt and Odell are on the Raiders. The Raiders. Cooper Kupp is back in L.A. Couldn't even get out of L.A., could he? Dalvin Cook, Vernon Davis, Pat McAfee's in Baltimore. McCaffrey, Geno Atkins, Tyron Smith. Des Bryant's in the Saints now. Phillip Rivers is in the Saints. Joe Thomas, Jonathan Taylor. Very interesting on the Seattle Seahawks. Steelers have Derrick Henry. DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Herbert's in Pittsburgh. Brady's a Texan with Sherman and Todd Gurley. Okay. Peyton Manning's a Titan. He also has Reggie Wayne to throw with. Aaron Rodgers is a Viking, so he goes from the Packers to the Vikings. Very interesting. Chase Young is here as well. Very interesting. Khalil Mack back with the Bears. Jalen Ramsey's in Cincinnati with Drew Brees and Ed Reed. What a team that is. Darren Waller's in Buffalo with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs makes it back to Buffalo. Luke Kuechly is on the Broncos. Danielle Hunter and Marquise Pouncey are in Cleveland. The Bucks got Andrew Luck, so they're who took Andrew Luck, and Micah Parsons is also here, Tony Gonzalez. Patty Mahomes is in Arizona. Okay, TJ Watt's in LA and the Chargers. Vita Vea is here. Julius Peppers, Brandon Marshall on the Chiefs. Cam Wake, Terry McLaurin and the Colts. Sauce Gardner's down there too. CJ2K, Eric Berry are in Washington. And then back to us. Very interesting stuff going on around the league. But like I said, the whole thing will change. Ages will go down. Everybody will have abilities. Well, not everybody, but people that should have abilities will have abilities. Superstar, X Factor. We will have all the stuff ready to go for episode 2, which is the first game of the season, week number 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it's going to be a really cool series. I think it's got potential. I hope you guys go and enjoy it. And by the way, I want to mention this. I should have mentioned this at the beginning. This is not a realistic rebuild. Obviously, I feel like you could have figured that out already. I don't usually do realistic stuff or super realistic stuff on the channel. I tend to kind of stay away from that because everybody does realistic stuff. So why don't I be the guy who doesn't do realistic stuff? So if you want to have stuff that's realistic, you can go watch other people. But if you want to watch stuff that's semi or like more towards unrealistic, you can watch me. And I feel like that's what I kind of like fit into that niche. And so this series is going to fit along those lines where I'm going to trade for people that I want to trade for. If I want to trade for Tom Brady, I'll trade for Tom Brady. If I want to trade for Jalen Waddle, I'll trade for Jalen Waddle. Like, guys, like, along those lines, I want to sign whoever I want in free agency. I'm going to draft whoever I want in the draft. Like, it's going to be whatever I want to do because this is kind of just like a crazy, just off-the-wall series. So I want to keep that up with, like, the moves that go on in the franchise. So just want to throw that out there as well. But thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I'm really excited about this series. I can't wait to see what your feedback is on if you guys are excited for this as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.